Hello there. My name is Henrietta, and I am here today to give you some tips. But if you click on this video, I know you were somewhat interested in anything that has to do with nursing. I have my stethoscope around my neck, not because that's how I have it at work, but you get the point. I was just trying to show you and look the part, okay? So let's go. Um, Nurses are not rich. This topic came about because I hear all the time, oh, nurses make a lot of money. Oh, you guys have a lot of money. You guys are rich. Well, that's relative, and that's depending on what you describe as rich. Excuse my background. Currently, I'm a travel nurse, and I'm renting a studio apartment, and this is the background I have to work with in the lighting. So hopefully I get better lighting when I settle. But anyway, I'm going to keep looking down because my notes are right here. So, nursing, I'm going to give you some pros and cons of the nursing field. And, hopefully, if that's something you were looking into and trying to make a decision, I can help. And this is going to help. Due to the pandemic, people were going crazy about how much nurses make, and everybody was so enticed. Yeah, $10,000 to $11,000 a week. That's unbelievable. Like for any profession, I don't think it's just I can't say it enough. Like that's amazing. Okay, we had a time, we enjoyed it, and of course, everything has to come to an end. They're not paying that much anymore. But if that's why you were going into nursing, cut it out because that money is not flowing all the time like that. So I just wanted to get that out of the way because that was a misconception to a lot of people. And then let's see here what I have next. So I'm going to go over some pros and cons about nursing. So let's go over the bitter stuff first, and then I'll tell you all about the good stuff. Number one, you are not going to get rich. Not at least from your paycheck. I know you can invest, you can do all that stuff. We've all done it, but not from your paycheck. If you're thinking that you're going to come in here, graduate, and all of a sudden you're balling, that's not going to happen. Okay? Not at least in your first 2 years. You're going to take the job that you can get. You're not going to make as much. And that's just about it. That's just the hard truth if you didn't know. So there we go. Number two, long hours. Now, if you're going to be anywhere near a hospital, you are going to work 12-hour shifts. Now, when I mean 12 hours, I really mean 14 because we're counting from when you come in, get report, and then we're not even counting like after, like if you have more work to do after your shift, you cannot leave it. You have to complete your task, whether it's charting or finishing up like a task on a patient, not unless you have a nurse that's willing to, take over that load, but you don't want to do it all the time. So that's another thing. 12 long hours. Your foot is going to hurt. I get foot massages all the time because, baby, when I tell you, like my legs, and sometimes when I tell you you're on your feet for 12 hours, you are. I'm standing and charting. I'm in a patient room, standing and charting. I am rolling around what we call a while. It's a computer, that rolls around. We're charting. We're in that patient room. I'm telling you, 12 long hours. That's just the truth about it. Nothing glamorous. I don't know what pictures you guys see about sexy nurses. There's nothing sexy about standing up. I'm not going to discourage you, but it's not pretty, okay? Number three, let's see what's on my list. Whew, the emotional stress of it all. Like, I cannot stress enough, like nurses, this is one of the profession you are burned out in the first 2-3 years of your career. If you don't take care of yourself, you will go crazy. The second year of my career, I worked on a unit that had inpatient hospice, and that's just pretty much means like we took care of people who were end of life, We knew they were going home, heaven, wherever you want to call it, they were going to die. So there was no saving them. It was just giving them comfort care until they were gone. Now, the emotional stress of dealing with that, their families, and I got really cold hearted about life, and that took a toll on me. But of course, you just have to take care of yourself. Emotionally, you're stressed. You are the center. You're the coordination of all of that patient's care, whether it's with doctors, family members, um, respiratory therapies, all the consults. I mean, everything. As a nurse, you're the centerpiece. You're responsible. If nobody does their job, you're responsible to make sure they do their job. You're calling, you're following up. It's a lot. So emotional stress is definitely a big one. A lot of nurses get burnt out, go find other careers within the first 2 years. That's a big thing. But that's for another video. Maybe I can help with that because I have mastered, well, I wouldn't say master, but I have found some ways to cope, okay? And then now that I'm done with all the bitter stuff, let me tell you why I love my career so much. Because it gives me a lot that I don't think I would have gotten with any other career. Pros, now that pay. Now I know I told you nurses don't make a lot of money and all that stuff, but this is one of the careers where you can get out right off the back and you're in upper middle class, straight up. Okay, you get out, there's no, of course it's entry level in other, I mean, in this profession, but it's not like entry level in other jobs where you have to work your way up. No, you get in, there's a pay rate, is across the board, you get your rate and you're in. Pretty much that's it. You make good money right off the bat. There's no interning, and I mean, you can work as a resident and all that stuff, but I'm telling you, compared to most careers, how much you make as a nurse getting out, it's good enough. It's decent living. I feel like 65 to 75,000, depending on which state you're in, starting off right out of college. That's great pay, at least for these times. Okay. Excuse me. And number two, I see here 3 days a week. I love working only 3 days a week. Now, a lot of people like that moolah. And I know I did in the beginning. I worked 4, 5, 6 days, but that was just for extra money. You work 3 12 hours and you're good. You can live off of that and be fine and skid on your way. But high maintenance, me, I needed more money. I had projects, I had things to do, so I work longer shifts and other days. But you only have to work 3 days a week, which is awesome. Can you imagine having 4 days a week off that you can just use to do other things with your time, like I'm doing now, like trying to inspire people? Yes, you can definitely have time to do other things if you take care of yourself properly. Vacation time. Most of the time you have 4 days a week. So the way you can schedule yourself, you can have 8 days off. And so you really don't need PTO and all that stuff. So that's gold for me because I love to travel, whether it's international or local, domestic, whatever. I love to travel, even if it's just a road trip. So if I have 8 days off, that's perfect. I can schedule myself. And that's another thing, self-scheduling. Perfect. I schedule myself for the days I want to work. But now that I travel, of course, that's really not the case for most hospitals. They just put me in where they need me. But if I'm a staff nurse, most of the time you get to make your own schedule. So that's perfect. That's close to freedom, okay? Working when you want. Close to freedom. Pretty close. Not all the way, but yeah, pretty close. Another thing I want to add here is getting a job. I cannot imagine like how other people have to do resume, put it on LinkedIn, try to, I, nursing is so awesome that like you can find a job before you find an apartment in a city. Okay. Like it's that easy. Like they're always looking for nurses. I can't imagine like any other profession, because I just love to be able to be like, you know what, I want to work there. And I pretty much 100% know I'm going to get the job. They need me. That's just it. I'm not being cocky, but they do. Okay, that's it. Um, Job variety. Oh, I cannot stress this enough. I meet a lot of people and they say, "Oh, I cannot do blood. I cannot deal with vomit." And sorry about that expressions, but that's the truth. A lot of people are afraid of that. Now, nursing, you never have to step a day in a hospital if you do not want to. You can work in outpatient, you can work in cosmetic. I mean, there's so many things. Personally, I decided to go to the hospital because I really wanted to get an in-depth knowledge of how, saving lives and, getting that fulfillment and really connecting with people at their most needed time. But other than that, I did not have to work in a hospital. I can work in community health. I can sit at home and never go to a hospital on a computer. I can work as a nurse advocate. There's so many different avenues, so many different paths that you can take as a nurse. So if you're worried about blood, well, maybe in nursing school, because you have to do those clinicals where you have to go to the hospital. But after that, if you never want to see the hospital again, you never have to see the hospital again. So definitely that variety, perfect. So I say all of this to say I just wanted to bring some light on this profession, this great profession of mine, and just let you know, like, if that's something you're thinking, because I've heard a lot of people, "Oh, I want to go to nursing school. I heard you make a lot of money." If money is your drive, that's why the title of this video is what it is. If money is your drive, then you're going to get pretty, I don't know. Money should be a part of it because, that's why I do travel nursing, because the money is there. But you also have to know that that's not the only thing. And that shouldn't be your only drive. That's what I was getting at. And then you also have to know that you have to invest your money wisely, take care of it, and not just go balling and spending, because, you're going to get tired. You're not going to want to be working 12-hour shifts all your life. We see those nurses that work until they're 60. I never want to be like that. So I am trying to get out of it when is appropriate. So I hope this brought you some insight on nursing. And I don't know if I give a background, but I started as a CNA. So if you are a CNA, definitely that's a path for you. And then I became an LPN. I graduated in 2014 as an LPN. And then I graduated with my bachelor's of science in nursing in 2018. So I've been on this journey a long time, and I can say it's been quite a journey, ups and downs. But at the end of the day, it's something that I cherish a whole lot, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to serve in this capacity. So hopefully this video, I know it's not all a professional video. I don't have all the equipment. I'm not a professional YouTuber, but I hope to inspire and give people knowledge. And this year has been one of the toughest years in my life. And I was just trying to see how I can channel my energy to something good. And I have a really good friend who always told me, like, you should do nursing videos. That's not all I want to do, but this is the most thing I have the most knowledge about right now. I am going to do other videos, whether it's lifestyle, fashion, anything, that's going to help anyone. So you will be seeing a lot of me. This is not the first or the last video. So peace out.